Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's
Good
get into
morning.
some front page news. Let's start off quickly in football. Now, the 49ers beat the Rams last night, 26-23 in Thursday Night Football. Now, Major League Baseball, the Tigers beat the Guardians, the Cubs beat the Padres, and the Yankees squashed, destroyed, killed the Red Sox last night. Now, tonight is game one of the 2025 WNBA Finals. The Phoenix Mercury play the Vegas
Let's
Aces.
go,
at
Aces.
8 p.m. All right.
Big Asia Wilson dropping the clues bombs for Asia Wilson. Let's go, baby.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, Envy, Charlamagne, Jess. How y'all doing?
Peace, Mimi.
Good. Happy Friday.
Good, babe. How are you?
So we're now in day 3 of a government shutdown, and President Trump is signaling he wants to use it as more than just leverage. Yesterday on social media, he posted that he was meeting with his budget director, Russell Vogt of Project 2025 fame, to decide which federal agencies could face cuts. Now, that's a major shift because just last year, Trump denied knowing anything about Project 2025. Now, that's a conservative playbook that calls for dismantling agencies and replacing career staff with loyalists. Now he's embracing it and even bragging about the opportunity Democrats have given him. Now, Vogt has already told House Republicans to prepare for mass layoffs on top of the hundreds of thousands of workers who have been furloughed during the shutdown. Now, union leaders, they call it illegal, warning families will be caught in the crossfire. And here's how Senator Ted Cruz put it. Let's listen to him.
President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities. I think that is fantastic, and what it's going to do is it's going to cause Democrats in Congress to scream and weep and gnash their teeth. I cannot wait for the next Democrat lunch when they start screaming at each other, when they start seeing pink slips go out at the EPA, at the Department of Labor, at the IRS.
So that's the White House, or Ted Cruz speaking on behalf of the White House, which is not backing up off of its message. Legal experts note the president, though, doesn't have the power to eliminate agencies created by Congress. But on Capitol Hill, both sides are digging in. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says public pressure will force Republicans back to the table, while Speaker Mike Johnson insists the GOP already did its job with a short-term funding bill and blames Democrats for holding up the process over health care. And former Vice President Kamala Harris, she is also weighing in this morning, writing on social media that Project 2025 has always been Trump's plan and that he's implementing it right in front of our eyes.
But when they say Trump promises to cut Democrat agencies, what do they mean? Like he's going to suspend thousands of workers, right?
He's going to suspend thousands of workers, but he's also they're trying to, cut the federal government. So he's, in essence, trying to finish off the job that DOJ started and get rid of some of these federal agencies altogether.
So agencies like HUD,
Yes.
Department of Education, Department of Labor.
Yes.
Yeah, he said any agency that doesn't align with his values. He
Environmental Protection Agency.
Yep. He says it has nothing to
Yes.
do with Republican and Democrats. I was going to say Dominicans, but Democrats. He said it has to do with aligning with his values. But I do have one question.
Dominicans swear they're their own political party. You
Yo,
was really
shut
about
up.
to say it. I'm glad you was about to admit it finally.
Yo, shut up. I do have one question. They said, somebody asked me yesterday, they were asking, with the government shutdown, how much more power does this give Trump where he doesn't need to necessarily get approval from Congress or anything else? How much more power does he have now?
Well, that's what he's exactly trying to do, is amass more power. So that's why during the government shutdown, they're trying to move behind back doors and do a lot of these, close a lot of these agencies and do a lot of things without having to vote, without having the Democrats take their votes and get their opinions on it. And so that remains to be seen, just because we've never seen anything like this, right? We don't know exactly what he's going to do. It seems like every day they come up with a different way to amass more power. So
Yeah, somebody told me yesterday by doing this, he can now try to fire more people, which is what they wanted to do anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. And so fresh off of signaling that he'll use the government to shut down parts of 2025, President Trump is now setting his sights on American universities. The White House on Thursday rolled out a compact academic excellence in higher education. That's a 10-point plan that offers colleges extra funding if they agree to overhaul how they operate. Now, the memo was sent out to 9 schools, including the University of Southern California, and officials say more institutions will be offered the deal in the future. Now, here's what's in it. To sign on to it, universities would have to agree to change their hiring practices, their admissions practices, to pledge to remain institutionally neutral on political and social issues. They would bar transgender women from women's sports and locker rooms, and they'd also have to freeze tuition rates for 5 years and cap foreign student enrollment at just 15%. Now, in exchange for participating, schools would be given money. They would be put in front of the line for federal grants and research money. And schools who don't sign, they'll still get federal funding, but just without that priority. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom of California, he wasted no time blasting the plan. He warned that if any California university signs on, that the state will immediately strip billions in funding, including Cal grants that thousands of students rely on. In his words, quote, California will not bankroll schools that sell out their students, professors, and researchers and surrender their academic freedom. Now, USC is not alone on that list. There are other schools like Dartmouth, Vanderbilt, Brown, and the University of Virginia. So we'll see how that plays out. Another round for Governor Gavin Newsom and Trump on the educational front.
So question, what does the Trump administration want people to do? Like, you're making cuts to all these government agencies, so you don't want people to work. You're cutting funding at schools, so you don't want folks to get an education. What exactly do they want American citizens to be doing? Like what would he like to see people in America do? It makes no sense.
Yeah. What do you, like, starve? Like, I don't know. Like, it's the weirdest thing ever.
It is the weirdest thing ever. And every single day, it just seems like there's something else that piles on and piles on. And so it seems like they're attacking every branch, right? And it's all laid out in Project 2025, as we talked about in Story 1, where Trump said he didn't know anything about it. But clearly, there's a blueprint for how they're going about this. So we'll have to continue to watch and see what happens. And coming up at 7, Americans now see the greatest danger facing the economy. We'll tell you what they think that is. And that's coming up at 7.
Damn, Mimi, we ain't got no good news. No, like nobody.
I'm sorry, MB. I'll be trying. I'll be trying.
Find your own joy. Didn't your Yankees win last night?
You're right.
Okay,
the Yankees did win last night.
That's Dominicans can be happy about something.
I'm not Dominican. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news now. In Thursday Night Football, the 49ers beat the Rams 26-23. Now, Major League Baseball is playoff season. Tigers beat the Guardians 6-3. Cubs beat the Padres 3-1. And the Yankees beat the Red Sox 4-0. Now, tonight, Game 1 of the 2025 WNBA Finals, the Suns. The Phoenix Mercury take on the Vegas Aces at 8 p.m.
Can't
on
wait.
ESPN.
That's what I'll be doing tonight with a nice glass of wine. You know what I'm saying? Watching the Las Vegas Aces and Asia Wilson play the Mercury. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Asia wins. I want to see Asia get her 3rd ring.
Mm-hmm. And what's up, Mimi?
Good morning, Envy, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Peace, Mimi.
Hey, girl.
Good morning. Good morning. We begin this morning with new details from LaGuardia Airport, where the NTSB is investigating after 2 Delta planes collided on a taxiway. Now, officials say the wing of a plane preparing for takeoff struck the nose of a cockpit window, and another had just landed. Now, one flight attendant was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, but all passengers got off safely. One plane had just arrived from Charlotte, and the other one was waiting to take off to Virginia. Now, air traffic controllers, they had instructed the departing plane to stop and let the other pass, but instead its wing clipped the nose of the arriving aircraft. Now, the crash, it left visible damage, a shattered windscreen and a bent wing. Passengers described a sudden jolt, like slamming on your brakes before the impact. Now, Delta has apologized. They offered hotel rooms, meal vouchers, and says it's working closely with investigators. But the collision happened on the first day of the government shutdown, and with nearly a quarter of the the FAA's workforce furloughed and hiring for new air traffic controllers on hold. Many have a lot of questions. It is too soon to know if staffing played a role, but timing underscores just how fragile the aviation system already is. So the NTSB is investigating, and they will look into all of that and see what caused it. But we've been talking a lot about the airport system and air traffic controllers and what that may look like going forward. So really scary times.
Very scary. Now, see, I don't like to hear stories like that because in my mind, as you just said, Mimi, we know that many essential airport workers aren't getting paid. So what type of morale does that give you when you come to work? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really come there wanting to do your best job knowing that you ain't getting your check?
Yep.
Yeah, which is very crazy because we fly so much, and you think something like this would obviously be taken care of. They were on the ground. It wasn't like they were on the air. They were on the ground. My dad gonna text me.
How can you be on the air?
I mean, you're in the air. I mean, my dad gonna text me. Oh, that's why I don't fly. No, that's not the reason you don't fly. But they were on the ground, and usually on the ground you would see more and more people. You could see it easier than in the air.
Yeah. And they called it a slow speed crash. Not even, they have high speed crashes. They called it a slow speed crash. So they didn't understand why they didn't see each other. So they will investigate, and we'll keep following that story. And more and more Americans say the biggest threat to the country isn't coming from abroad or even the economy. You might have guessed this. It's coming from each other. So a new New York Times poll, a Siena poll, finds polarization is now seen as the second biggest problem facing the country, right behind the economy. And experts say social media may be the main reason that divide feels so sharp. So apps like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X, they're built to keep us scrolling. And those posts that grab us the fastest are the ones that push our buttons. It's called rage bait, content that is designed to spark outrage and get people arguing in the comments. Now, some creators even admit their biggest videos are the ones that stir up controversy. And the algorithms, they reward that outrage. The more emotional the post, the more likely you are to click, share, and keep watching. That's why the most hostile, partisan content often rises to the top of your feed. Years ago, an internal Facebook memo even admitted that its system, quote, exploits our brain's attraction to divisiveness. Now, critics say that these platforms know exactly what they're doing, arguing that rage is even more powerful than sex when it comes to keeping us online. And the numbers, they back that up. They show just how big this divide is. 81% of Democrats now say that Republicans are a serious threat to the country, and nearly 70% of Republicans say the same about Democrats. And as one expert put it, if America were a horror movie, the call is coming from inside the house.
Rage is more powerful than sex.
Yeah.
They having sex with the wrong people then. Okay? Because they ain't nothing like being on your phone and then your wife come in there looking all right and you like, let me put this phone down and, you know what I'm saying, get to doing what adults should be doing. Okay? You want to be tweeting. You want to tweet when you can skeet. You know what I'm saying? Want to be on the gram when you can be in some yams. What's up with y'all, man?
Yep, you want to scroll while you can ride this pole.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That is hilarious. But it is a real thing, rage bait. And so much of it is happening right now because of the government shutdown and the hate speech. We're seeing it so much. And so apparently, according to this new poll, Charlamagne, rage is a bigger divisive issue, or it keeps more people glued to their screen than sex.
Oh, so. No, that's insane. Yeah, that's insane. Y'all having sex with the wrong people. But yes, I do agree. The low vibrational nigga nonsense is what I call it. And, we always say nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. But I promise you, if you just turn your phone off, that ain't the real world. Like that, when you turn this phone on, it do feel like the sky is falling. Everything is all disruptive. People are in disarray. Folks hate each other. But as soon as you turn your phone off and just come up for air and get back to your real world, I don't feel that.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And Envy, this one is for you, right? We were talking about good news. So speaking of the power of media, one of the most influential Black news sites is making headlines this morning. The Root is returning to Black ownership for the first time in years. So Ashley Allison, a political strategist and CNN commentator, is buying the outlet from Geo Media. It's a private equity firm that's owned the site since 2019. Now, Ashley says this isn't about publishing more stories. It's about making sense of the moment when journalism is is under attack, and people are looking for trusted, independent voices. Now, through her new company, Watering Hole Media, Allison plans to grow The Root with more video, new partnerships, and even live events for readers. The Root was launched in 2008 by Henry Louis Gates Jr. and Washington Post chairman Donald Graham as a modern-day national black newspaper. And now The Root has changed. It's changed hands a few times with different owners, but now Allison says it's coming back with the very mission that it started with, preserving culture and telling black stories with clarity and purpose.
Well, salute to Ashley, man. Dropping the clues bombs for Ashley.
Absolutely.
I do wish I would have known it was for sale, though. I wish I would have definitely went in with Ashley and invested in that because I don't like The Root. So I would have loved to be an owner with them so I could fire some of those people who I feel have wrote a lot of rage-baity stories about myself and people that I love. Okay?
Yeah.
I would have loved.
That's what's up.
I would have loved to be an owner in The Root. I would have loved for y'all to get that news this morning just so I could fire some of y'all. Okay? But I will support Ashley and what she does because I think Ashley is an amazing personality on CNN and I think she's going to bring a lot of integrity back to The Root.
I agree. All right. Well, thank you, Mimi.
All right. Well, that's your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more news stories, follow Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and follow BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi. Now, when we come back, we have Taylor Polidor Williams joining us. She's the star of Beauty and Black on Netflix, and we're going to talk to her next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?